That there is a pandemic that most first child of most men's wife are not their biological child. Something kept telling him to for the rest of your children, but the wife told him one thing that really shocked him. And the wife told him that if he can keep this a secret, that nobody will know about this. He asked the wife, what is it? As we also talk about men wey get mind, wey get heart, let us not forget women. Bundo biakpo. Honestly, you see women, if a woman wants to do something, God, there is nothing you can do or say that will stop her, or else she decides not to do it. Especially people wey get mind. You see those women wey no dey talk, if you hear what they do or what they have done or what they did, your mind will blow. It go blow your mind. Honestly, your mind will blow. Now, this man said his friend told him something that he heard, that most first child of most men's wife are not their biological child. Do you understand? That there is a pandemic that most first child of most men's wife are not their biological child. That most of the women are pregnant with the child of their ex-boyfriend before they got married to the man, or maybe during the course of courtship or relationship, the woman was doing away match, and maybe did not know that the last thing she did with the ex-boyfriend, it didn't don enter before she got married to the guy. And maybe because she was doing this person and doing this person, she did not know who have the child, and because this very person have now proposed, she now thought this is a man's child. That generally there is a pandemic all over the world, or all over Nigeria, that most men's first child are not their biological child. So he said that his friend told him this thing, and honestly he could not sleep throughout that night, because he knew for sure that his wife was seeing someone even up to the month they got married. But because he really loved her and wants to have her at any cost, and by all means, he turned blind eye and deaf ears to whatever she was doing or saying. All he ever wanted was just to have her all to himself, and went along, did the marriage rites, everything. So not too long after they got married, his wife told him that he is pregnant, and they went to the hospital and the doctor confirmed that she was pregnant. So he did not know anything about the terms, first trimester, second trimester, third trimester. He did not know anything about pregnancy, how many months. He did not even know how to calculate it. All you know that his wife is pregnant, and he was just happy. The first few months down the line, the wife put to bed a bouncing baby boy, and everybody was just happy. So not up to 1 year, the wife took in again the second child, and this has been going on. So he now checked, does it mean that my first child is not my child? And currently the wife have 3 kids for him. Does it mean that my first child is not my child? So he said that this thing really disturbed him, but he thought to himself that he knew the wife would not cheat on him even in marriage, but he's not sure before the marriage. Do you understand? So after he gave this a long thought, he decided to go for a DNA test. Carried out a DNA test on his first child, and fortunately the first child was his. But he said he was not yet convinced. That something kept telling him to for the rest of your children, carry out a DNA on the rest of your children. Now this thing disturbed him for good 6 months, until he decided, after he confided in his friend told him to carry it out on the rest of his children. So he decided to do DNA on the rest of his children, and lo and behold, initially he was happy when he carried out a DNA test on his first child and realized that the first child is his. So to him, he is free of this pandemic that most men's first child from their wives are not their child. So he's now happy and have cleared himself of that pandemic. But the thing kept telling him. So after he carried out the DNA test on the rest of his children, unfortunately, the rest of the children were not his. The second one was not his. The third one was not his. Only his first child, that he thought was not his, was really his. But the rest of his children, they are not his children. He said that day that he did not even get himself. He could not even summon the courage to go home. He had to get on an emergency travel to the village. He traveled back to his village, lied to his wife that someone died in their village and he has to go home and see the family because they are close related family. But he got to the village, he thought of so many things to do, so thought of so many things to say, thought of so many things, and could not come up with anything to do to his wife, because he said that his wife honestly had been the bedrock of the family. That few months after they got married, that he lost his job, and since then they have been surviving on his wife's business. And this his wife's business really boomed in the first year of their marriage. Immediately after he lost his job, that his wife's business really boomed to the extent that he thought it's a miracle. He concluded that it's a miracle. He just said to himself, God really works in a miraculous way, because the turn that his wife's business took really shocked him. It really shocked him. So he kept thinking, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I am surviving on my wife's business. Everything is really on my wife. I don't even have any money to give to my wife for child support in case if we divorce. And there is not really any hope for me anymore. I don't have any money. He kept thinking. He said, but I can't take down my truth that I have somebody's child. First of all, let me find out who this person's child is. He kept thinking, and something struck his mind. He said immediately his wife's business took the turn, that he got an information, even though he don't know who told him that his wife's ex-boyfriend came back from abroad that very period. Although he did not really place it, because he also had that the guy came back to marry, and he really got married that very year that he come back, but he could not place it. But even though he could not place it, his mind kept insisting to check. So what he did, he spent the weekend in his village and came back the following week, and pretended as if nothing happened until he gets all his facts correctly. Now he started investigating his wife, started watching her moves, her movements, are going out and her coming in, her calls, started tracking her calls, started going through her chats, and got all the information and evidence he needed. It now dawned on him that those two children were really not his, but his wife's ex-boyfriend's own. Now, how did this happen? He now realized that period that the guy came back from abroad, that was when him and his wife got in contact again, and they have been conversing. So his wife begged the guy for a business support, and the guy really gave his wife business support. But surprisingly to him, his wife did not tell him, because all he knew is that his wife's business took a great turn and things started happening. He started importing goods from abroad, and everything was just so fast. His wife told him it was a miracle, and because it was during the time he lost his job, so he was not mentally stable to think, calculate, and just take notice of everything that was happening before him. He was just absent-minded because he could not download the reason why he lost his job. So it now dawned on him that during the course of his trauma, the course of his breakdown, his wife started cheating on him because of that, and collected a business support from her ex-boyfriend. But it did not end there. It did not end from business support. She also had 2 children for the ex-boyfriend. So when he got all the information he needed and wanted, that was when he confronted her. He called her one morning while the children have gone to school and sat her down and now told her all these things. He said his wife fainted right before his eyes. That he got scared because he had never experienced anybody fainting in his presence. He called on his neighbors were not around. He tried to recall how to revive someone that fainted. He got water sprinkled on her, and tried to open up the windows and doors for ventilation to come in, and after a few minutes his wife got herself. He tried to give her some hours. Later in the evening he called her again and was like, you have fainted, you are back, welcome back. So what are you saying about everything I said? That was when the wife broke down in tears and started telling him that he should please forgive her, that it was when everything was so bad that he had no choice, that initially it was not her intention to do this. She just asked him for a business support, And that was how everything started. That initially the guy gave her money, but it did not end there. Because he was her ex-boyfriend, the guy, they started talking, and one thing led to another, that she did not even know when all these things happened, that he should please forgive her. Now, the man told her that, I forgive you, but I can't be in this house with you and the children that are not mine, even though I have created a bond between I and the children. But what is not mine is not mine. But the wife told him one thing that really shocked him. And the wife told him that if he can keep this a secret, that nobody will know about this. He asked the wife, what is it? She said that the ex-boyfriend did not know that those children are his. That he did not know. That is not how he knew. And again, he should check very well that these children did not even look like the ex-boyfriend. That the children actually looked like him. He said he now slacked back, brought out the children's pictures, and obviously the children really looked like him. The children really looked like him. The children resembled him so much. Immediately he waved the thought off and told her, they are not my children, they are not my children. If you like, let them resemble my father or my mother. They are not mine, they are not mine. The wife kept crying, wailing and begging him to please forgive and consider. And that was when she now opened up all her business secrets and revealed to him how much she have in her bank account, and revealed to him how much worth of goods she have in her shop, in her warehouse, how much worth of goods that are still on the way, and now told him that they might lose all these things if he opened up about the paternity of these children, that they might lose all these things. That first of all, his ex-boyfriend gets ready for her, that he might come for that business if she refused to give him his children. And again, the ex-boyfriend would not even give a second thought over leaving the children for them. That the ex-boyfriend gave ready for her, that he should please try to consider all these things she is telling him. He said at first he could not believe what she's saying, but after a second thought, something told him in his mind that he knew that the wife is really sounding very stupid, even though she thought she's making sense. But something in him told him to hold on, that he should do this. I asked him, what is that? He said that really that he is broke. Since then he lost his job, he have not gotten any business offer, and each time he tried to join hands with his wife in her business, that she kept pushing her away. That he's thinking, should he keep his cool and agree or pretend to agree to her plans and try to save up as much as money as he can and maybe relocate, start a business and just leave her? That he really wants to teach her a lesson and revenge. But if he do that now, honestly, he have nothing to fall back to. Since this lady has opened up so much amount of money she have in her position that she did not tell him initially, should he make use of this opportunity and enrich himself and eventually divorce her? Because obviously he cannot train a child that is not his because of tomorrow. Not after creating a bond, tomorrow someone will come from somewhere and come and start making troubles. That it is better for him to separate that bond now that the children are still tender. That's what do I think about this plan. I told him, well, let us ask our family, what do you guys think about this guy's plan? Do you think that his plan is okay? Should he carry out with the plan, knowing fully well that no man can ever take this from any woman, but he wants to use the opportunity and see if he can get back on his feet since his wife has done what she has done? So what do you advise this man to do? Do you also advise him to leave everything behind since the money is from his fellow man? Do you advise him to leave the stage and take a bow with his ego, or just forget about ego and pride and bend down and collect what he really wanted to collect? Your advice is highly needed in the comment section. He will meet you there. My name is Kenneth. Please feel free to come to my DM if you have any issues in your relationship or marriage that you want us to talk about or sort out for you. I am just a DM away. Feel free to come to my DM. I'll meet you in my DM. See you in our next story.